Just don't provoke me, cause I don't need no cellmates. I'm in a 2-seat, doing drops like a mailman. This ain't no hoopty ass, she riding, she's a hell yeah. No, I won't lose sleep about no pussy, I'm like farewell. Yeah. I'm outside. I know how it feel to see your homie switch sides. I know how to put that Rolls Royce shit in drive. I know how to load a clip and shoot, we gotta ride. You ain't gotta lie to me, baby, no. You know it's a vibe every time we catch him off sides, he won't make it, no. Money on my mind, I can't get it all.
No.
Hey, yeah.
I said I got some good ones of him.
Did you take pictures or you recording me?
No, I was doing both. I was doing both.
1 2 1 2 testing.
Testing, he says.
That's Al. We see Al up there. Look at Al.
Wait a minute. I see all of us up there.
Is your real name
wow.
like? Oh, there you go. All right, yeah.
Alice.
We've been improving. Listen. Everyone in the podcast world that's listening, you gotta understand that we knew nothing about podcasts. Like us, at least us. Alex did. All right, but we literally created a podcast studio in 3 weeks. We made it legit. But I'll tell you right now, to match with legit, we didn't know shit at all. But you know what? We're getting a hang of it. And I think I wouldn't say we got it down packed, but I think we're doing okay. I feel like 75% there because every week we come in and we're like, oh shit, that's dope. Oh,
That's
you know,
you just gotta see what works for us. You know, it's just not coming in here and just talking ish. You know, there's what is it? A method to the madness.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're learning the little methods in between. Like I mixed last time with laptop. You heard that? Last top.
Oh wow.
Sounds pretty crazy though. Last top. Woof.
Nah, I mean it's a growing process here at TruePod Studios. Obviously, you know, this was from the ground up, and and in a blink of an eye almost. And
yo, you served me water from the toilet?
It has a funny taste.
Really?
To it.
I'm not joking.
Holy shit, man! You know, you might want to check out your filter your water filter.
Damn, that shit tastes weird, right?
It does. I just didn't want to like
We
complain.
fuck around. We start looking at each other weird in the podcast. Hey.
You guys got 5 minutes before you faint out.
And then he takes over.
I believe it.
And then he transmits to the world.
Be butt ass naked on TruePod on this episode of TruePod.
Kiss my.
No.
Oh wow. All right, cool. So what we have?
And don't
going
cut
on?
that out, man. This is the stuff that the audience needs, bro.
Listen, only the real craziness gets audited out, but I think that passes the bar. What's up? Liquidity. Look, we've been covering
Liquid. La, 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 la.
You know, when I first heard liquidity, I was just, I automatically go into my science, my solids, liquids.
Nah, it's not.
But this is obviously the business
liquidity.
world.
Liquidity. This time we're talking about money, man. Money that's easily accessible that you can take out from one day to the next. You know, liquid. Liquid is money that you got there for worst case scenario or for planning. Right?
So readily accessible cash.
Yeah.
Right? Something that you could pull out. Let's say like I could pull out money from my Cash App, right?
Right.
That's liquid that I have there, right? That's accessible to me.
Right. But then there's still even though it's accessible doesn't mean it's usable.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Now explain that to us.
Elaborate.
So let's say somebody sends you $2,000 right now.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's liquid. But if that $2,000 you have to pay your rent, it's not really liquid for you.
Oh, okay.
It's already assigned. You understand?
Okay, so
liquid. I like to consider liquid money, everything else that's not attached to. So meaning, if I have $4,000 left, I like to consider liquid what's left.
What's left after your fixed expenses?
After all the money that it's tied to. So if you have $4,000. And 1,000 of that is tied to your cell phone, your cable bill, and your car insurance.
You have 1,000.
You have $3,000 liquid. Also, what I like to consider liquid is just money sitting in different areas that you can pull in worst case scenario.
Now, say that again. If you have money in different places?
Yeah. Different areas. Actually, in the mortgage world, you can have a lot of liquidity.
Okay.
Well,
which sounds as equity, Equity can be used as liquidity. So equity in your home can be pulled so you can use it as liquid.
I have a question, John.
Okay.
So before we get to you know.
Let me drink this nasty ass water again.
Yeah, it's nasty, but it'll wake you up. Trust me.
It smells like one of the dogs that be in here.
It does. So before we get to,
oh my god,
this
is nasty, bro.
It's bad. Oh,
No!
What the fuck?
We've not been in the office for 2 weeks.
I think you guys.
The fuck does that mean? The fucking bottle.
Nah, you guys were having like the Dasani, not Dasani. What's that fancy shit?
No, Dasani, this is dick.
Horrible water.
Really?
Yes. So there's a particular brand that the water's in a box. If you know, you know.
Oh, the box water they give you on the airplanes.
This water was
water in a
this
box.
This is one of the worst waters ever. I don't know what you did, but this is not right.
So we were gone for 2 weeks, and everywhere we went, it was just water in the box.
That water was great.
Wow.
That water was great.
It tastes exactly how water in a box would taste.
Yeah, when I saw it on the plane, I was like, "What?" But I guess they're trying to save the planet, right?
Well, it did its job.
66% of the box is organic. I think it is.
Yeah. And 100% of the water tastes good, so I'm fine with it.
It's nasty. But back to what we were speaking of before you drank toilet water. Before you say, liquid money in your mortgage in your home and you have money sitting on some crypto, because I know you like crypto, and you have some money in your savings account, right? Mm-hmm. That is, to me, that's liquid. What you have in where I can go to the bank and pull out that day is what I consider, because even if your money is sitting in your home, you still have to go through a process of a refi to put your money or a line of credit.
Yeah, so that's perfectly said. Liquid can be immediate. In his case, he's talking about immediate.
Immediate,
right? Immediate, like bank, yo, babe. Oh, I need 4,000. No,
crypto would be easy. Access, right?
Crypto's immediate.
If you have the money,
if whatever, you can have $1 in crypto and pull it out tomorrow. It's liquid. That's liquid. But then there are other forms of liquidity where it's a process to pull it out, but it becomes liquid. Equity can become liquid.
It can be held in assets like homes.
Correct. Yeah. So let's say I owe $800 on a home, and the home is $1 million. There's $200,000 that's liquid there, even though the bank won't let you pull the full $200, because the bank wants you to retain anywhere between 75 and 80% LTV, which is loan to value. So the bank says, hey, we don't want you to take out the whole 100%, because then if you run on us, we have the whole house on our back. So what they do is they put a cap in place, 75 LTV, 75-25 LTV, or 80-20 LTV. If it's an investment property, banks only do 75-25 LTV. If it's your primary home, they do up to 80%. So they will lend you 80% of your home's value, but you still got to hold 20% in equity in your home. So let's just bring it down to like a normal number, right? How I can turn the equity into liquidity. If I have $100,000 in equity, that means I can pull out $80,000
from that home that you live in.
From that home. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
That's only if the home was 20. If that 20% was $100,000.
Yeah.
So I have $80,000 that I can pull. I got to go through a refinance process or a HELOC. For everybody who doesn't know what HELOC is, a home equity line of credit. That's what a HELOC is. And that avoids you from having to refinance. And what it is, it's a credit line on the equity in your home. Home equity line of credit. So they give you $80,000 as a credit line. And as you use it and you pay it back, it's always available.
Yeah.
But I could turn that into liquidity by pulling it out. So let's say I refinanced and I wanted to get that $80,000. That now becomes liquidity. It did take a while, probably 30, 60 days to finance, but I'm able to turn that to liquidity to do what I want with it. Then you have the other forms of liquidity, like he said, where easily accessible, and the importance of liquidity, Yeah,
well, why would you want to have, these days people walking around with a plastic card, nobody wants to have cash on them.
Well, that's credit. That's credit is a form of liquidity, but you still owe.
Yeah, and even with the fact that you is the fastest
So it's not just cash paper.
No, it's in the bank.
It's the money that you have readily.
Because for instance, if you have any type of business, right? Say you hit a rough patch. Pandemic 2020. No one was expecting. If you're pretty much diverse. So you have crypto, you have a couple of homes, or even one home with a large amount of equity, and you have zero like cash, like in the bank, or you probably have 5,000. It's not gonna get you past a week.
Yeah, you got a month and a half before you crash because you don't have no liquidity to hold you down.
So it's diversifying your portfolio, meaning, okay, if I have 20,000, that holds me up until I pull 100,000 from my either crypto or from elsewhere. So it's a combination of things.
Yeah.
So now my question to you is, when you're diversifying or trying to set up you have your business, you're already established. We're talking to those that are already established, right? Mm-hmm. There is the saving method to build that liquidity, and then there is the real estate aspect, right? So do you feel the best and the safest way is to secure like that home equity, like just
Nah, well, as for liquidity, I mean that's only if you had a home. If you don't have a home, that's not an option. That part of liquidity, I think the main thing when you have a business, right, is to make sure that a part of your profits, a big chunk of it goes to liquidity, because business is so uncertain. You want to make sure that you have certainty in uncertain times. During the pandemic, I had money put away. But the pandemic thankfully didn't hurt me. But if it did hurt me, I was still fine. Because I've always managed to put a good chunk away for rainy days.
What's a good chunk as far as monthly expenses? How far out?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question, because I think it varies from everybody. But, for me, my hot season with taxes, as everybody knows, is the first, 6 months. Mm-hmm. So I need at least 6 months to get me into the next 6 months. So I always like to hibernate during the summertime, stack up money, and then go into tax season with a ton of money while making new money. So I would say safely, and it all depends on your business. Because
you have your highs and lows.
Yeah, you might have lows for only 1 month, and you got to stack for 1 month. But if your lows are for 6 months, I think you need to put enough liquidity away to hold you down until when your peak comes back in. So I actually don't, and it's good that you said that, I actually don't pay everything until December. I pay it till January 31st. Because when the real money starts coming in, it's really February for taxes. So I get everything out the way. I pay both the mortgages for the year, and I pay them until January. So my next payments are not till January of this year. Next year coming in. Why? I only got 20 days before I start making my good money again. So I like to put, for business, just business. Personal, no, that's different. For business, I put at least 6 months away, getting ready for things to happen, if it were to happen, and getting ready just during my highs and lows of when I make money during tax season. As for personal life, I think put away as often as possible, bro, because
first bill should be your savings. You, right? Pay yourself.
Yeah. I mean, but I like to do this. I like to pay myself last, because that means my business is always open. And then whatever's last is what I work with. So if I make $30,000 that month, after rent, after employees, after whatever, then I say, hey, John, you can buy a pair of sneakers. Some people, and look, it's okay to disagree, guys, the podcast world. There's a couple podcasts out there and a couple influencers that say,
pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first, because you're the one who got to live. All right, but what happens if your business is negative,
I think
but you're paying yourself first?
That can be
yeah. No, I'm just trying to make the easiest sense make sense. So if you were negative in your business that month by $2,000,
you can't pay yourself.
But then paying yourself puts you negative $2,700. Well, no, $4,700 because you paid yourself $2,000 that month, $500 a week. You just made your business more negative.
Yeah. I think that the understanding I think behind that statement is right that you pay yourself first, meaning that if everything is going the way it should and the way
perfectly said, only if everything's going well.
If everything's structured in the way where okay, you're paying your bills, everything's before you go splurge on the car, the sneakers, and all that. Pay yourself first, right? I don't think that. That would apply to somebody that's negative.
No, because I need my business to survive.
That theory is remember, we're maybe switch the mindset. That theory is for the non-entrepreneur. That theory is for the 9-to-5 person.
Yes.
So the theory is if I get paid $1,000 a week, pay myself first, meaning put $100 into savings. It's not pay me, but I get a lump sum of money.
No. I'm not going to mention his name, and he's a pretty known individual, but he always mentions pay yourself first because you got to afford to live. Like if you don't live, then how does it? That sounds cool, but in reality, for me, if I did my monthly bills for the business properly, and I included my bill, then I'm okay to get paid less. But if I didn't include my bill and I didn't do my monthly business expenses properly, I'm going to tank. Yeah. Whichever way, I'm going to tank even more if I paid myself first, because if I only made $1,000 and my salary's $5,000 for the month, I'm -4. Then I got the business. Then I'm -9. But if I actually budgeted correctly to include me in the overall expense of the businesses, it's okay for me to get paid less.
Yeah, the theory is more towards savings. It's not towards a spending or anything. It's more, everyone is so used to getting paid on your weekly paycheck, and you're paying your bills, and then you're gonna go out for tacos and BS, and then now your savings continues to be zero, right? So the theory of pay yourself first is put $100 into savings, and then worry about tacos and margaritas and sneakers.
Liquidity, though, right?
It's to build liquidity. So that's where the pay yourself first theory is more of, I got paid every week $1,000. I paid $500 bills, and then the rest I'm buying a pair of sneakers and 13 tacos. No.
13.
Pay
That's 12.
$500 for your bills, $100 for your savings, and then go splurge $400 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that pay yourself first is in our world of self-employed is everything is budgeted into into
so something that you mentioned, John, that was interesting to me is try to put away liquidity when you're up, right? When it's a peak time of whatever business you're in.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people know that, but that's a great idea to be able to. How do you discipline yourself to put away and actually have enough?
Al, I've been through so many different worries with the company that the point once I got okay financially, that I'm almost more scared now to lose it. So I better equip myself every single year by putting a Band-Aid on top of a Band-Aid, on top of a Band-Aid with 6 more Band-Aids. Because we all know at some point in time, whether you're doing good or not, you're still going to go south one year. Yeah. Somehow. Or something may go wrong. So the more Band-Aids you got on top of that one Band-Aid, the less likely it is to see the blood coming out of the first Band-Aid. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I would rather keep stacking and stacking and stacking, because this is literally survival of the fittest. Or because your business is successful doesn't mean it cannot be in business the next year. It could be out of business.
Now, is everybody's income is different, right? You have different tax brackets, you have different levels, right? But if you'd have to say a percentage of your monthly salary, weekly salary, whatever it may be, what would you recommend the person do?
I don't live by a percentage. I hate to say it, and I actually seen Steve Harvey said this.
Yeah, I'm a big percentage
the
guy.
Other day.
Yeah.
No, who was it? They ripped a piece of paper. They was like, Shaquille O'Neal, matter of fact.
Yeah, Shaq.
He ripped a piece of paper saying you should put this away. And, it makes sense. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
What the hell was that? Oh, that was outside?
Yeah, that's the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Gotcha. No, it makes sense. I don't feel like I need to, rip 50%, or I got to pay 50,000, so let me put away 25,000. I really know my numbers, and I know what it costs me for the year and what I make. So I'll put away big chunks of money, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And it's always way more than what I actually, make. But still, I haven't lived by a percentage number yet. And it doesn't mean it's wrong. You never heard me say that it's wrong. No, I just don't do it. I don't do 75-25.
I figured 6 months. If you mentioned you put away for at least a cushion of 6 months. So my brain automatically tells me, okay, 6 months. How much percentage?
Well, I don't put away bullshit. Well, I told you that I pay things for 6 months out.
So you make it.
I put away way more than that.
So one of the things, and we actually have a drop where, this is one of John's constant models is pay
your time forward.
Pay your time forward.
Yeah.
So what happens is,
it's actually you, Ken.
Yeah. It's, I use it. I say it so much.
Buy that time forward.
So that the model is, especially in self-employment, when you're not a guaranteed check every week, right?
Yeah.
And you could jump in and because this is your model.
He's looking at me like, you said it, motherfucker.
This is your
it
theory.
Works. It works for me. It works for me because the model's very simple. You guarantee not to fail if you buy your time forward.
The model is simple for the transition. The person that's transitioning from 9 to 5 to self-employment. That's why it's simple. And it's always, buy that time forward. If I received a chunk of money, right? One thing is for sure, house, car, cell phone, light bill. These things are not going to go away. Right?
Fixed expenses.
Fixed expenses are not going away. So if you want to buy time while you grow your business, is the model buy forward. If my rent, if I made $5,000 and my rent is $1,000, let's just say, there's no such thing, but just a ballpark figure. I'm gonna pay 5 months ahead. I already know that for 5 months, I have a place to sleep.
Yeah,
that's so much less stress on your head.
So I see what you're saying. That if you're a regular guy,
all right. So watch that. I'm gonna go like extreme hardcore. You ready?
Let's go, champ.
You get knocked out, right, at a club, right?
Never experienced.
No, just listen. I'm going hardcore, but I'm just giving you a reality of it, right?
Work.
Planking.
Yeah, they in one of those, right? So look at, let's say I pay a year out.
Okay.
A whole year. I just finished tax season, and I pay a whole year out till after next tax season. I'm at a club and I'm chilling. Somebody sees me, he don't like me.
Oh wow.
Uh-oh.
Literally.
Puts you to sleep.
Puts me to sleep. I go into a coma for a year.
Oh.
My bills are not missed for a year.
Let's see what you're saying.
I wake up. Oh, boo, boo, boo. I start doing tax again. I don't miss a payment.
So if you're able,
It's all able.
pay your time forward.
I bet you they never said that on a podcast about going to sleep at a bar, but it's real. I'm just letting you know,
like
real life shit.
Yeah, but that's real life shit. That's real life. We could have got knocked out in Vegas when we were all together,
but it wasn't ever gonna happen.
It could have happened. Listen, I could have been just chilling on the side and somebody just say, "Yo, I want his chain."
Nah,
sleeper.
I was on him already.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but
I'm gonna use this as an example, and this is the mentality of what he was saying of paying yourself first.
Yeah.
No, last.
Paying yourself last compared to paying yourself first, right? And we talk about it all the time. Say you have licensing fees, right?
Topic of the day here at Truth.
You have licensing fees, and you made $5,000.
Okay, for that month.
Yeah, that month. Yeah, no. Go with that month.
For that month.
No,
For that
don't.
month. For that
That month.
For that month. So your licensing fee is $3,000 for the year, and you made $5,000 in a month.
Okay.
And you paid yourself first.
With that example, how do you pay yourself first? What would you do?
I would pay the $3,000, and
there you go.
And then
and
I
what
have $2,000.
And what is time forward?
He bought.
I took care of what needs to be done.
Yeah, you don't have to pay any more monthly installments.
Nothing.
If that's gone.
That's gone.
You bought
That's
your
it.
time.
So I have $2,000. That's my liquidity.
And let's say he did that in the 3rd month of taxes in March. Well, he has 9 months to have fun.
All to the pocket.
All to the pocket. All to the pocket.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's on a small scale. That's
so
a small
yeah.
business.
What do you think it's the error in people's process that they
Fear.
Is it fear?
Fear. So is this. I have.
He came out the gate
I have
right there, right?
5,000.
Fear, fucking fear.
Check this out.
Fucking fear.
I have $5,000. I have $5,000.
Oh, fear, fucking fear. Run! They fucking here. Fucking fear, they're here.
Yeah.
Fear stops
Is this?
in everything.
I have $5,000. That covers my rent for
fear.
For 5 months, right? I am scared. I am scared that I might need this money for emergency.
Yeah.
Now I pay the rent 1 month, so I have $4,000 left. I buy a pair of sneakers.
Always.
I buy 32 tacos.
And 16 Starbucks
16
while
Starbucks.
recording, going like this.
16 Starbucks.
Candy's morning
Fuel,
fuel.
yeah.
Right? That's all part.
It's costly.
That goes into my marketing budget, right? So I probably had maybe one emergency. Maybe I call one flat, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, I just blew $4,000.
You blew most of it.
But this goes back to the conversation that we just had at the restaurant. He now doesn't pay me, right?
Mm-hmm.
What? Wait, he now doesn't pay me. And this is only his 3rd month with me. But then he becomes consistent. So he doesn't pay me. Then he pays me for 4 months. Then he doesn't pay me again and again and again. You know what happens? It's worse. You know why it's worse? You lose your respect for me. You're not reliable. You're not a good payer. I would never do you a favor. That means more. In trouble times, that means more.
Relationships.
Respect and your word is your bond. If you say you're going to pay me and you don't pay me, the worst thing that you can lose is the respect and your word is bond. You know why? Your respect and your word is bond provides a lifeline of opportunity when you actually need it. So if Ken paid 3 years straight, then comes to me and say, yo, Jay, I have a rough month. No problem, bro. You don't have to say nothing. I trust you. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Respect and his word. Plus, with him being on point, allows me to go, that's not Ken. I know Ken has a problem this month. No problem.
So it's fear sometimes, irresponsibility sometimes. Is greed too part of the reason?
Hell yeah.
It is. It's
hell yeah.
It's greed. It's
hell
What
yeah.
did my man Frank say from Scarface? Never underestimate the next man's greed.
There you go. But it's also
Don't ask to learn how to make money from someone if you're not willing to pay them.
Yeah.
it's lack of
Don't ask if you're not ready to make money from. Don't ask somebody to learn how to make money from them if you're not ready to pay them.
So to have liquidity, in retrospect, because we were talking about
It's
liquidity,
discipline.
It's discipline,
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.
So before we jumped on the pod and that's what we're gonna talk about. Bring up my conversation was, are you gonna talk startup or establish? Because the number one thing from starting to establish is discipline.
I think it begins before that, though.
It's discipline.
I think it begins before that, though. I think it begins before you even start the business. You got to learn. You got to have some sort of discipline
Mm-hmm.
in order for your skills and in order for your skills and your discipline to apply to your business, you must have it prior to the business.
You have to implement it, I guess, in the beginning.
100%.
Structure.
100%.
Yeah.
You can't go ahead and learn discipline while having business. You crash. I was always disciplined as a kid. I woke up, I went to work, I was always 30, 40 minutes on time before I was even supposed to clock in. And then it applies to over here. I'm over here, I sweep, I mop. I'm the first one to open this office most of the time. It doesn't change.
So discipline,
It's discipline.
responsibility.
Discipline is I would say 80% of knowing how to put away liquidity.
So it's in this conversation, someone is probably watching this in YouTube world and say, yeah, it's easy to say that you have 100,000 in home equity and 100,000 in, right? And
Good
it's
point.
like, and
I already know he's gonna say, but go ahead.
maybe not, but
No, I do know.
my thing is, you have to start from somewhere. And you have 100 little businesses. I know people that have
There
started have a supermarket that started with a stand outside, right?
I guess the discipline starts in the little things in the
It's the
beginning.
It
smallest
does.
things.
So it's
And
a
then
bunch of little
it
disciplined decisions
transfers
that allow
over.
me to have X, Y, Z in liquidity.
That discipline transfers over
100%.
into your business
100%.
decisions making.
100%. Yo, you know how bad I want to pull out my crypto money?
Sheep.
You know how bad? Just to see it in my bank account to go,
Yeah.
huh. But I'm like, John,
You're playing the longevity game right
it's
now.
gonna turn.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit was down. I put a total of 226 actually between AMP and Shiba. That shit went down to 138,000. And I'm gonna be honest, not one time did I go, oh my God, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
And then I put a post the other day. I shot up 67,000 in 24 hours. You seen that, right?
I saw it.
So it went up to 198,000. But I was like, okay, cool. Like, I know the game. But if I didn't make a bunch of good decisions to have more liquid on hand, I would have fucked up.
You would have been
So-
a little more upset.
Yeah.
Right
So
Hell yeah, because then I have to pull that at a loss.
now. At a loss.
And then it becomes frustrating.
Yeah.
But it's a bunch of little decisions that like Ken said, like you can't get to that part.
you can't get to that part without starting, and
Yeah,
it all
no.
comes down to discipline. Everything that I gained, even at a young age, it was all due to discipline. You know, even now when I think about it, it's like, I want X, Y, Z. Am I willing to, being real with myself?
Yeah.
Am I willing to sacrifice
A little more.
that much?
Yeah, I
right?
think he's doing that right now. I think Ken
Am I
is
willing
doing
to
that right now
sacrifice?
with
And
the
it's like-
business.
yeah, and it's like, okay, in order to obtain certain things, am I willing to sacrifice X, Y, Z? But to get to the point where you have all these extra things in a business, especially self-employed, discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, guys, I really was interested in maybe if you guys could tell us if you do have liquid, you have many ways of putting liquid into certain places, a
Yeah.
house, a crypto.
Most people who invest liquidity. They don't invest the money that they have to spend that's locked up. So I'm not going to take $5,000 of my mortgage and invest it. Because there's a great chance statistically showing I'm not going to do a ROI on it in time in order for me to pay. ROI, guys, return on investment.
So you got to be careful what you call liquidity before you.
It's
go
okay
and
to invest your liquidity that you have accessible as long as it doesn't hurt your monthly locked up bills.
your fixed expenses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, 100%. But, liquid is very, very important, especially during these times, pandemic. Man, we went on a cruise and like 6 of us caught COVID.
No, God, please, no.
Not I either, but the other crew. Yo, for all we know, there might be COVID 22.
No.
Next month.
No.
And
Tell
then
me about
yo,
it.
yo,
2.0.
yo, but watch this. And then shit shut down again. A lot of businesses are fucked.
Yeah, that was a very hard time for a lot of brick and mortar.
It'll be
businesses.
worse. It'll be worse now. You know why it'll be worse? There ain't gonna be no bailout.
No, there's no money.
There ain't gonna be no $6 trillion being dumped.
You sure, man?
Yeah. Nah,
You sure?
it ain't.
It's all a printing press.
Yeah, but then that's why we are where we are.
On the next episode,
Yeah,
on the
inflation.
next episode of True Pod.
Well, let me tell you guys, if you did have a place to put your liquidity or to have it readily accessible, I'll ask you, Mr. Kenny George, where would you have your money at? Where would you have your money readily accessible to? Where would you put your money? Liquidity.
As far as
If he had to invest, so the question is, if you had to invest your liquidity,
Yeah, where would you store it?
there you go. Okay,
I like that. Thank you.
real estate.
Real estate. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a big real estate guy. And you, John?
me, crypto.
Real estate.
Crypto.
Well, there you go, guys. This was another edition of True Pod here at True Pod Studios in Garfield, New Jersey.
You know why? You know why the crypto though? I can literally watch it go up, down, left, right, pull now, pull later. Hey,
you're constantly able to see what you got.
yeah, man, yeah. So
more control in a sense, probably too.
Crypto,
Faster.
faster. Definitely crypto.
All right. So, did you want to, guys, maybe want to say anything else before we go?
Nah, just say that we're back. You know, we got a little tan.
Yeah, we're back. We was on vacation and we're back. I got a tan. My shoulders are peeling. You know, but I'm looking real orange.
Hit the link.
That's
like,
right.
subscribe,
yes,
comment.
like, subscribe, comment. True Pod on on Instagram.
Medias.
On Instagram, True. P_O_D, and then on YouTube, and then personal page is at Truthful Taxes, at Truthful_Taxes,
at Kenny Taxes. And if you have any topics you want us to touch,
yeah, DM us and just mention the topic, and we'll easily go ahead and elaborate on it, and probably even bring on some special guests. I got a surprise guest coming in next week. All right, so
we got a lot of things, new things coming.
It's part of Rock Nation, Jay-Z's team. You know,
let's go, champ.
so you know we got something special in store. You know, but other than that, man, you know, good being on the mic again, and you know, make sure you have your liquidity ready for the worst case scenario. All right,
you heard it best from Jonathan Hernandez here at True Pod. We're out of here, guys.
all right.
Just don't provoke me, cause I don't need no cellmate. I'm in a 2-seat, doing drops like a mailman. This ain't no hoopty, ass she riding, she's a hell yeah. No, I won't lose sleep about no pussy, I'm like farewell. Yeah. I'm outside. I know how it feel to see your homie switch sides. I know how to put that Rolls Royce shit in drive. I know how to load a clip and shoot, we gotta ride. You ain't gotta lie to me, baby, no. You know it's a vibe every time we catch him off sides, he won't make it, no. Money on my mind, I can't get it all.